So for my career report, I did a nurse anesthetist, and they're in the healthcare industry, which is constantly moving. It is interconnected, and there's lots of room for advancement. So a description of the work that they would do is they start off with patient assessments, and this means that someone before surgery, they will decide how much anesthesia, and they base this all off of the person, their history, and their family history. So after that, they work with the anesthesiologist, who is the doctor above them, and that's when they decide the proper doses. They prep them and they administer them. So during the surgeries, they will often monitor vitals. They look for signs to make sure everything's going well, and they change them as needed. So wage and salary, they start off hourly, they make $60, and then annually they make $125,000. Within the first 5 years, it's the greatest increase. So actually, within the first 5 years, it's expected for a nurse anesthetist to make the national average, which hourly is $80 an hour, and annually it's $170,000 a year. So according to Nursing Process, approximately 50% of nurse anesthetists report an income range from $140,000 to $195,000, which seems to be on the higher scale of things. So the characteristics needed are critical thinking, active listening and learning, social perceptiveness, and judgment and decision making. These are all very important because as a nurse anesthetist, you are constantly making decisions on the fly as they happen. If complications come up in surgery, you're the one who is adjusting based off their vitals, based off levels. You always have to be making last-minute judgment calls. So education background. They need 7 to 8 years of schooling. And the way this goes is you go from an RN to a BSN, and then after that you can apply for the anesthesia program. Anesthesia programs are only in certain accredited schools, and they are often hard to get into. It's a lot of schooling, and some of these programs only accept certain credits. So the career ladder, like to be talked about. So the medical field is super interconnected, which means all the jobs are very related, and the way you go up the career ladder is through education. So if you start off as an RN, which is very low, you go up that career ladder to a nurse anesthetist by going back to school, which is one of the major ways. So employment outlook. So the medical field is always needing people. It's always gonna be relevant. It's something that we will always need and will never go away. So employment options as a nurse anesthetist will most likely always be there.